Here we have that image, and maybe we need to adjust some brightness or exposure for that image. And before we do that, let's even analyze our image better, opening our histogram. If you don't have that one open, please go to Window. You will find histogram. Probably you have that one on colors, like that, where you can see all color values. However, now we're focusing on brightness, so let's select luminance. And also make sure you have the same view as mine, expanded view, and click that refresh button to have your histogram updated. Now as you can see, this image is missing white ranges and also black ranges on right and left, and we don't have the best midtones as you can see, so let's maybe add levels to start fixing exposure for that image. Here we have auto setting. We can be clicking that one, and instantly Photoshop is clipping these two areas in here, black and white. So if I undo that, you can see the changes within our sliders. And also for auto, we have different presets we can be selecting from. So instead of clicking auto directly, we can be pressing Alt or Option key, then clicking auto. We have these algorithms in here, we can be selecting from them, and you can see the difference between these two auto settings. And this one also have more options in here, so it's clipping 0.10 of your shadows, and the same as well for your highlights. You can be controlling that preset or customize it, or you can be trying that one, or even that one. You can keep trying different algorithms every time, and eventually if you like any of them, you can save that one as default. However, I'm gonna set it back to enhance brightness and contrast. Now we have our auto settings applied. We can be dragging that slider all the way toward black points to increase brightness for our image. So now we have a brighter image. We can be checking that one, or we can revert our levels. Now we can be dragging these sliders once again, and also you can be clicking Alt or Option key to check what you are clipping within your image. So if we press Alt, now we can see what we are losing within our image. So if I keep advancing like that, now we are losing these details within our image. Even if I go further like that, these areas are turning into a black color, so we're losing all details within these areas. So I'm gonna drag that one all the way, maybe to here, pressing Alt or Option to check what I'm losing or destroying within that image. And the same as well applies within our white slider. If I start dragging that one, I'm clipping that area, which doesn't include any values. However, if I start dragging even further like that and start pressing Alt, I'm getting that black image. Going even further, I'm losing details in the sky. All these areas are turning into white. So try to be careful when you're clipping your white and black areas. Then I'm gonna be slightly dragging that slider all the way to here. That will be brightening our image, and if I drag it that way, it will be darkening our image or dimming that one. However, in that case, we don't have overexposed image. We need to be increasing brightness just a little bit like that. We can be using curves instead of levels as well to increase exposure or reduce it within our image. And using both of them can be doing the same job. However, curves can be more detailed, and it's usually used by photographers for more details within their images. So let's maybe disable that one and applying curves. Here we can be clipping our black and white areas as well, increasing midtones within that area. And maybe you can be bringing some of these values a little bit, slightly like that, drawing a similar S curve. And also you can be using that button in here to control these values within our image. So if I click that one and start moving within our image, we will see that we have that dot moving within our curve. So here we are selecting black areas or dark areas within our image. We can be increasing that one a bit, maybe like that, or reduce it like that. Or let me even undo that and use auto settings, pressing Command to edit different presets or algorithms as well. just like levels. We have that white area clipped. For us, we can be clipping that black area as well. And we can be pressing Alt to see what we are destroying or losing within our image. So if I go all the way to here, we have black areas within our image like that. Also, we can be editing as well different colors, red, green, or blue instead of RGB. However, now we're talking about brightness, and we covered these colors within our color adjustment layers. And of course, within our RGB, even within our auto settings, we can be adjusting these values. So maybe we can be dragging that one a little bit higher for a brighter image. Now moving to another image. Here we have that one taken in Central Park as well. However, it looks really pale to me. And in this one, let's apply levels right away. And let's refresh our histogram. Maybe clipping some black values. Pressing Alt to see what I might be losing. Now we might be losing some of the statue, so let's be careful with that. And also maybe a little bit of white as well. Just a little bit like that. I'm gonna be brightening our image, dragging our slider. Now let's even add some color vibrance for our image, because it looks really pale in that area. So cranking that one up. And maybe also a little bit of saturation. Maybe a little bit more. Now let's even add more contrast to our image. There are too many ways to apply contrast to our image, so we need to be converting our image into a smart object. So let's right click our image, convert to smart object. Then let's go to image, adjustments, brightness and contrast. Can be increasing contrast a bit like that. Or instead we can be duplicating our layers. So I'm gonna be pressing cancel, and we're gonna be pressing Command J or Control J to have a duplicate of our layer. Then changing blending mode to soft light, or even overlay for a stronger contrast within your image. However, let's keep it on soft light for that one, and let's bring opacity for that layer all the way to here. Or instead of using a duplicate layer, we can be using camera raw filter. So let me disable that one. And I'm selecting my layer once again, going to filter. We have that one as a smart object already, so we're going to be applying camera raw filter. Now we have our original image in here, and also we can be controlling or dragging these areas in here to left and right to clip these areas. However, I'm gonna undo that because we are already using levels. However, now I'm gonna be increasing clarity for that image, which is similar to contrast as well, and dehaze as well. Of course, here you have more controls over your highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks as well. So you have even better control in here, so you can be increasing highlights or even reducing them a bit, and same as well for shadows. Then you can be applying that. Now we have a much better details within our image, especially for the trees and the sky. And here's another technique for you guys. You can be adding a layer on top of your original layer, just an empty one, to preserve your original layer. Then we can be using sharpen tool, and make sure you're using a soft brush, a mode on normal, and we have a strength of 30%. You can be increasing that one or reducing that one, pressing 4, 3, 2, or whatever you would like. And make sure you're checking sample all layers and protect detail. And also, if you're using a tablet, you can be clicking that one to apply pressure sensitivity within your tablet. Now let's maybe apply some strokes over these areas. To gain even more details for the trees. And maybe as well some touches through the sky. Now this looks like a completely different image to me. Just by enhancing exposure, contrast, and adding some color vibrance, we have a completely different image. And here's also another result you can get by applying different values for the same filters. Depending on what you prefer and what effect you're going after, you can be getting different results using exactly the same filters and same adjustment layers. Moving to another image. In that image, using levels or curves will not be giving us best results. However, instead we're going to be using shadows and highlights, which is not existing as an adjustment layer. However, we can be converting our layer into a smart object to preserve our layer. So here, as you can see, we have that one already as a smart object, and we can be going to image, adjustments, then selecting shadows, highlights. Now instantly we're getting some details from that arch. However, we can be reducing even more shadows to get more details from that arch. Maybe we're getting a little bit of noise as well. However, this one was completely black, so that's amazing for us. We can be hiding that noise later using some filters, maybe blur filters or something like that. And also for highlights, we can be controlling highlights for our image. However, for that image, you don't really need to increase highlights. But just in case you're getting some glowing areas like that line in here, you can be showing more options and reducing radius for highlights. So I'm gonna be dragging that one, and now we're losing that glow in here or that halo around our arch. If we increase radius once again, you're gonna see that glowing light in here. However, in our case we don't need really highlights, so I'm gonna be bringing that one to 0 again as it was. Also, you can be trying to play around with these settings in here for color, mid-tone, or even tone if you're using highlights. However, now I'm gonna be keeping that one as it is and applying maybe vibrance to our image to add some color within our arch. And now let's maybe say we need to remove our shadow highlights effect on the sky or the clouds. We can be selecting our smart filter. Then we can be selecting our gradient tool in here, having black and white. Then we can be drawing a gradient that direction to reveal that part from the sky, or even we can be drawing that gradient higher, or even from here to have maybe that shadow effect within your arch. And you can do the same technique to any adjustment layer you're applying. So let's maybe add a color filter from here, or photo filter. I'm gonna be increasing density for that one. Of course, you can be selecting from any of these filters. Instead of warming filter, you can be trying red, or any of these colors, sepia as well, deep red, or you can be selecting a custom color from here if you would like. So let me select warming filter, and we're gonna be applying our gradient as well. So now we have that color filter only applied on that arch, and also you can be reducing density for your masks as well. So selecting our mask for maybe shadow highlights, then you can be double clicking your mask. Now we have density for our mask, we can be reducing that one a bit. Now we have shadow highlights also applied on our sky because we have 55% only applied from that filter mask. The other adjustment layers in here are pretty much straightforward, and most of them are existing under your image adjustments. You can be experimenting with them anytime. You can be inverting your image, which will be inverting your image's color, and same as well for these settings in here. So let's maybe apply some of them. Here we have invert, which is inverting colors as you can see, or we can be adding posterize. So let me undo that, selecting this one, which is rarely used by designers these days. As you can see, it's not really amazing. However, we can be changing these values from here for different effects within our image, or we can be removing that one and applying exposure, where we can be customizing exposure as well. However, it's not really effective as using levels and curves or even shadows highlights, so we have exposure slider we can be increasing that one a bit, or instead you can be selecting from a preset. So for instance, you can be selecting +1 or -1 and so on and so forth. So let's select maybe +1. Now you have that preset with +1 for exposure. Maybe if you like that exposure setting on the arch, you can be removing that area by using the gradient tool as well. So selecting that gradient tool and drawing a gradient like that. However, it's totally up to you if you would like to have more details of your image or not. So let me remove that one. Now it's your turn, guys. You will find these images in your resources. Start applying your preferred techniques and methods, and I'm sure you will be coming up even with better results than mine. Hope you enjoyed that one, and let's dive in next video.